Getting older is not anything to be feared. In fact, if you are doing life right, you are just gonna keep getting cooler and cooler as you get older. I spent years of my life thinking that I just had to pick one path in life in order to be taken seriously and in order to be successful. But recently I've realized something. I am not meant to be just one thing, and neither are you. You are not meant to just go after one thing in life. You are meant to try new things and surprise yourself and go after what you want. The next chapter of my life is about expansion, softer edges, new interests, and allowing myself to become whoever I'm growing into. We aren't controlling our futures. We are allowing them to unfold. Hey y'all, welcome back to Reel It In. I'm your host, Reed Cox, and this is your go-to destination for self-improvement and creating the life you've always desired, all while keeping it real. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Reed. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you never miss a future episode. Now let's get into it. Today is my birthday. And if I'm being honest, y'all, I really didn't give it that much thought this year. Usually I am preparing for my birthday weeks before, and not by like making any serious birthday plans, but I'm really big on journaling, vision boarding, and getting clear on what I want this next year of my life to look like. I'm really big into fresh starts, New Year's, birthdays. I'll take a fresh start, clean slate whenever I can get it. But something about birthdays has always felt super powerful to me. But for some reason, this year, it has snuck up on me. And I was thinking about it. I was like, why have I not been preparing for my birthday this year like I normally do? And I have come to realize I do believe it's because for the first time in my life, I feel truly happy and content. Now, let me also add, for most of my life, I always kind of feared the feeling of contentment. For some reason, it just felt stagnant and just like still to me. Like for some reason, I always thought that I had to constantly be yearning for something more, or I always had to feel slightly incomplete in order to constantly be striving for success. And now I have come to realize I could not have been more wrong. Because it's when we feel truly fulfilled in life and like our cup is filled up. We're creating, we're exploring, we're trying new things. That is when we produce the best work. That is when we are showing up as our best selves. It's not when we're in lack or feel like we're incomplete or feel like we need to achieve something more in order to be good enough. So I've been doing a lot of thinking for the past day or two about this topic and about how moving forward in my life, who do I want to be? How do I want to feel now that I'm no longer striving just to be one thing in my life? You know, for my entire life, I have been an actress. Ever since I can remember, I wanted to be an actress. And I have spent my entire life dedicated to making my dreams come true. And now, since I am turning 34 tomorrow, I can't believe it, I am really reassessing my life. I moved to Los Angeles at the age of 18 and became an actor, and I've worked a ton and I'm still acting. However, my life is so much more full now. And I started to think, I was like, why am I so much happier now than I was when I was in LA pounding the pavement, pursuing my acting career, which I had strived to do my whole life. Like I always envisioned that was me living the dream. Me being a struggling actor in LA was always me living the dream to me. And now that I've done that, I did that for 14, 15 years. Now that I'm in this new chapter of my life and my life looks so different, I find myself way happier. And I think it's because I am no longer married to the idea of that I have to just be an actor. I have to just be seen as a famous actress in order to be happy and successful. Now, in the past 2-3 years, I have allowed myself to pursue so many other things, start new endeavors. I started this YouTube channel. I started my blog on Substack. I have gotten married. I am currently pregnant with my first child. And I think I'm actually truly happy because my life is more full. Because I finally accepted that I am not meant to be just one thing in life. Because if I were to just see myself as just an actor and be like, that's the only thing I can pursue, and until I have reached all my goals in this career path, I don't want to try anything else. If I had stayed in that mindset, I would have stayed sad, alone, and unhappy. Because the reality is, the days of picking just one career path are kind of over. The people I see in my life who are really thriving are people who have multiple endeavors, who aren't afraid to try new things and learn new skills. Look at your life right now. Are you just dedicated to one thing in your life and you have a few other things maybe in the background that you want to try? Perhaps you work as a lawyer, but you've always had this dream of starting a clothing line. Whether it's a big clothing line or a small e-commerce brand, if you have that dream to start the clothing line, why not give it a shot? Why not take your weekends and dedicate your weekends to pursuing this new path? You can do both. You can be a lawyer and have a clothing line. You can be an actor and also be a writer and also be a content creator and also be a mother and a wife and a homemaker. You can do more than just one thing. And I've come to realize, I feel like true fulfillment, true creative fulfillment for me, as well as true fulfillment just in life, is when I allow myself to be more than just one thing. Because when you're telling yourself you have to just be one thing and you have to be the best lawyer, the best actor, the best this or that, and you're going to sacrifice so much just to do that one thing, you're cutting yourself off from so many other amazing opportunities. I got a birthday card in the mail today from my grandma, and right when I opened it, I was struck by the cover of the card. It was this picture of this fabulous woman lounging on the beach, but like in normal everyday clothes. And the quote that said, "I am going to make everything around me beautiful, and that will be my life," by Elsie DeWolf. And I was like, oh my God, this quote, "I'm going to make everything around me beautiful, and this will be my life." First off, how poetic, but it really got me. I was like, what a beautiful outlook on life and what a beautiful mission. And I was just so curious who this woman was, who was Elsie DeWolf. So I got on Google as I sipped my coffee, and I found this woman was living exactly the life that we're talking about. She started off as an actress, which is so serendipitous, but she started off as an actress, and then she became known as kind of like a style icon because she was known more for her fabulous outfits than her acting skills. But she started off as an actress, she became well known for her outfits, and then she started her interior design company at the age of 40, then became known for being one of the best interior designers in the early 1900s in New York City. Like, she was known, like, she's primarily known for being an interior designer. But then she became an interior designer. And then she was named, what was it? Like, it was like best dressed woman in the world at age 70. She got some award. I'm not sure if it was exactly that. But point being, this woman, she was also a Red Cross nurse during World War I. Like, she dedicated herself, her life, to beauty and to trying new things and to expansion. And it sounded like nothing was off limits for this woman. That's the type of woman I want to be. I want to be someone that people remember as so multifaceted, so expanded, have reached so many groups of people in life. Elsie DeWolf is her name. Look her up. Do your research on her. But I thought this year for my birthday, normally I have this whole vision board that I have for my new year. But what if I chose one word that I wanted to define this new year for me? And I had kind of a blueprint for who I wanted to become. So I decided that I wanted my word for this year, for the year of 34, for me, to be expansive. I want to be expansive in my life and stretch myself and try new things. And I want my blueprint, my icon, to be Elsie DeWolf, a woman who was known for many things, who cared about the richness of her life being filled with beauty and authenticity and creativity. I want to be that kind of woman. So if you don't have a birthday coming up, that is totally fine. But we are nearing the end of November, so 2026 is coming up. So ask yourself, what is your word that you want to define 2026 for you? And who is your icon that you want to take after in 2026? What is your blueprint for the person you want to be like in 2026? Sometimes we know we want to make changes, but we just don't know what we want to change, but we know how we want to feel when we see someone else doing what we want. For me, when I heard that Elsie DeWolf quote, I was just like, that is it. I want to fill my life with beauty. I want to fill it up so much that I have no choice but to go after the opportunities that are presenting themselves to me. I don't want to sit around and wait for the phone to ring and wait for the next audition and wait for my agent to tell me I've booked something. I want to be constantly creating beauty in my life. And I think about it too as I prepare to become a mom, as I prepare to bring my first child into the world. What home do I want to create for my child? What environment do I want to create to bring them in? What example do I want to lead for my child? And I truly do think that embracing the idea of being more than just one thing is probably one of the best things I could do. And I'll be honest, sometimes it's hard for me to let go of the fact that I didn't fully like win an Oscar, like I've been on TV, I've been in movies, like I've worked a lot and I'm still in the game, I'm still auditioning, but the fact that I still have yet to win an Oscar, which was like my big dream, sometimes is just so hard for me to like, it's a hard pill to swallow. But would I be as happy having won an Oscar as I am now? Like you hear all these people of like they finally get the big award that they wanted and worked so hard for. They finally get what they've been striving so hard in life for, and they get there and then they're empty. And then I look at my life now and I'm like, I'm so happy. Sometimes it's a mind F that I'm like, I'm so happy, but I have a life that's completely different than what I thought I would have. Like never in a million years did I think I'd be writing and creating content and, pursuing other career paths. And it's kind of hard to like detach from my identity, which was just being an actress. But the more I've thrown myself into other things that have filled my cup up and have made me feel whole as a person and made me feel creatively fulfilled, the more I've done that, it's become easier to let go of this old identity I've had for myself. So if you're struggling with the same kind of thing, like you have an old identity that you poured so much energy into, your whole life into, and you're realizing now you might want something different. You might want new things. If you're having trouble letting go of your old identity, just know the more you pour into the new things, the easier it will be to let that go. And I promise you, it is the most freeing feeling in the world. Embrace the idea of being a multi-hyphenate, y'all. Like we are put on this earth to do so many things and to be expansive and try new things and learn new skills and fail and be surprised by life. So don't be afraid to embrace the multi-hyphenate lifestyle. Open that boutique, start the clothing brand, go after that new business. Really let go of all the past identities you've had for yourself and open yourself up to being pleasantly surprised with what the universe has in store for you. Okay, y'all, that is it for the day. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you never miss a future episode, and I'll see y'all next time.